Hello! Today I'm going to talk about the books I am planning to read for autumn. Normally I'm not very organized in which books I'm going to read when. I just have a big pile and whenever I finish a book I start looking in it to see which one I feel like reading next. But I know there are some of you who like to be more organized about what they read, like Vanessa, whose channel I'll link in the description. And I thought that it would be a good idea to try that as well. Especially since I am not an autumn and winter person. I am a spring and summer person. I enjoy light and the fact that it gets so dark during the autumn and winter months. To me it's just one big stretch of darkness and cold, and I don't like it. I mean, I like the holidays, I like the things that are social and nice, and I like fall fashion. I'm a knitter. I just get really down during the darker months. So actually planning on which books I'm going to read with that in mind seems like a good idea. The first book I'm definitely going to be reading this cold period is The Shepherd's Crown by Terry Pratchett. I got this at Discworld, of which I don't have any footage because I was too busy taking part for me to actually document. But there is a video of me and some other people getting sworn in as watch recruits, which I will link down below. I was kind of trying to wait with reading this book because it's the last one Terry wrote, and I already know I'm going to be crying a lot during it, and when I finish it there will be no more Discworld novels for me to read. I was kind of hoping to like savor the fact that I still have to read this a bit longer, but I already got spoiled for one thing that happens, and it's a big thing. Not at Discworld because all my friends at Discworld were very nice and very aware of the fact that I haven't read it yet and very careful not to spoil me. But outside I clicked on the link and there it was. So I'm really going to read it now. It's a Tiffany book, it'll involve witches, and it will be perfect for October. Okay, next up, another witches book, Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. Now, I have seen the film for this so many times. I love it. I will probably rewatch it again and again and again this cold period as well, because it is my happy place. For the longest time I didn't even realize it was based on a book. And since I did, I found out that the writer is Alice Hoffman, who's also the writer of The Museum of Extraordinary Things that I read earlier this year and absolutely loved. So that bumped it up. I am going to be reading this. I also want to read The Luminaries this autumn by Eleanor Catton. Now, this is a whopper of a book, and I feel like it'll probably be very good to just sink my teeth in and just wrap myself in and not come out until I finished it. I have only heard absolutely positive things about this book. It won the Man Booker Prize in 2013, and there's supposed to be mysteries and unsolved crimes. I am very intrigued. I also want to read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I have this really old, battered second-hand copy. I'll be curious to see what the book is actually like, because I've obviously have like an image of it because it's referenced in many fictional things, and I watch Penny Dreadful, in which Dorian Gray is a character, so be curious to see how all those adaptation things I've seen compare to the book. Also on the list is The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I wasn't sure whether I would be including this, although the description seems like it would be perfect for like the dark cold months, but I've had friends of mine comment on my Instagram, on which I post pictures of the new books I get, so I don't really do whole videos, but if you want to know the books I buy, just check out my Instagram once in a while. So when I posted a picture that included this book, a lot of people responded to this book particular. They were either saying, let me know when you read it so we can talk about it, or saying that it is absolutely great to read in like the end of November when it's really cold and dark. So that's why I put it on the list. It's about a young boy who is mourning the loss of his mom and finds books in the attic and stuff happens. And there's also war on. Also on the list is The Phantom of the Opera. This is the Dutch translation. Now, I am very much aware of the musical. I know some of the songs both in Dutch and in English, but I've never actually seen it in its entirety. Of course, this is a book I've read actual parodies of, so I'll be interested to see how those compare to the actual book. I am also very interested to read Gretel and the Dark. This promises to be a dark and disturbing book because it is both about fairy tales and the Holocaust, and there are strands of stories in different times being woven together, and hopefully it'll bring me exactly the type of feeling that I tend to have in this time of year. And just to stay with the fairy tales, I want to read A Tale Dark and Grim, which is the traditional Grimm fairy tales, like the gruesome ones, rewritten in what promises to be a humoristic way. I don't know. I'm just gonna read them and see what I think. So those are the books I'm planning to read in October, November, and the beginning of December, I think. Depending on how long they'll take me. Hopefully there's enough darkness and magical things to keep me occupied during this dark and decidedly unmagical time in the real world. I have no idea how good I'm gonna be with actually sticking to this TBR, so time will tell. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and whether you think it's a good choice for this time of year, and which books you're planning to read. Also, subscribe! Look, books!